Hi everyone. So I'm working on an unfinished project. I'm working on sweet pea. Here's the blocks. Lots of different greens, pinks, yellows. So I have 6 left to do of these. These 2 count as part of the 6. Believe it or not, I started this back in wow, I don't even remember. I know it's been at least 11 years. So it's a good thing that I had so many blocks done that I knew where I was at, which size I was making. It's got 3 sizes on this. So anyways, Jingles is playing with the tripod. Thought I would bring you along while I do my last block that I'm working on at this moment. I still have 3 more to do after I finish this one. There's 2 different blocks on this. I'm working on the star one. And then there's one with just a middle, this bottom one. Unfinished projects, that's what I'm working on. But I thought I'd also bring you along and just sit and chat. I'm going to zoom up the camera up here into the sewing machine so you can hear me better too. And I'll tell you what's been happening with my locks changed, and some other updates going on. So let's bring you up closer. Okay, now because I started this such a long time ago, and I'm talking like 11 years ago, so this material, I already have it cut. I'm going to just show you. I've got it all in this tub here. This material's junk. So when I say buy good material, that's what I mean. Buy good material. And because I know I need to draw some lines on my green, I'm going to do that while I'm sitting here talking. So this material is so old, and this was back before I knew any better about buying good material. Really buy good stuff because it sews better, it irons better. So right now I'm drawing lines on the back of my green, corner to corner, to make some flying geese. These are them pins I was talking about that you hit an iron on them and boom, they're gone. Love these. I get them from Sewing with Nancy website. I try to buy them on sale. So what's going on with my door lock? The maintenance man / caretaker, whatever the heck he's called, was here bringing me some rubber seals for me to put in the track of my windows, because my windows during the winter frost up. Last year was so bad I couldn't see out any of my windows. They frosted up so bad that I couldn't even open the inside ones to try to thaw them out a little bit. And while he was here, there was a boiler issue. The boiler is right underneath my apartment, right underneath my living room. And the boiler got turned on, I want to say late October. And after about 5 days, it started rumbling my floor. My whole floor was shaking. It was scary. So I sent the manager of our complex an email, because I think there's been times that this maintenance guy has done some stuff on the boiler, which you have to be boiler certified when you have this many families living in an apartment setting. They have to be certified in boiler repair. You can't just have your maintenance man do that. So I sent somebody out, and in the meantime I asked him about my door lock. I told him why I wanted a new door lock. That somebody had been in my apartment. He made the comment that, well, the cover on the smoke detector wouldn't sit tight. I said it wasn't sitting tight. It was skewed on there. It was only connected on the top. And I kept trying to get a video, somebody coming into my apartment. I've got a game camera. That's just not working. Number one, the environment needs to be just right. This guy's a professional burglar. Yep, I looked up his record. He's got third-degree burglary charges on his record. He's been charged with selling stolen property. And he had access to everybody's keys. Now he's being real careful. He's going to make sure that there's nobody home on the floor when he does it. So sometimes my neighbor next door is gone and the former caretaker across the hall is gone. That's the times he's doing it. Well, that environment has to be just right, because I was gone for a weekend and I set up my game camera, and of course I didn't get anything. It was the perfect environment, but then when I got home I realized he wasn't home that weekend. A lot of times he goes and stays with his mother. So waiting for that perfect environment can take some time. Yeah, I realize I should be pressing this, but I'm not. Because at this point I'm so frustrated with this fabric and this pattern, I'm just gonna wing it. It's all been folded up for a while. So he said he would get me a new lock and I would not be charged for it. Now I did call the police and I made a report. First I told them what was going on. I said, you know, I don't know if I need to make a report, an official report. So I told them what had went on, and he thought it would be a good idea, the officer that I talked to. So I was like, okay. And at the time I thought, you know, I think I had said how my jewelry was kind of messed with, where I had one earring in one drawer and then a couple drawers down there was another earring. And I don't take my earrings off that way. I thought I was missing a couple of rings. They weren't in my jewelry box, but I do have one other spot that I put jewelry I don't wear all the time. in because my jewelry box is just not big enough for all my jewelry. So I told him, I said, I'll wait. I said, if you don't hear back from me, I've found it. I just found both rings because I thought those rings were gone. So what I'm doing with these, I'm just going to finger press. That's what I'm doing. I'm just finger pressing all these. And I'm just going to iron the whole block later. So the maintenance man has been here. He only comes like once every 2 weeks to vacuum. That tells you what our hallways look like. They look like crap. And he has come here, let's see, 4 different times now. And each time he tells me he's forgotten the lock. Doesn't have it in his car. Can you believe that crap? The boiler, in the meantime, they had a boiler person out, and he actually came into my apartment and bled. I have hot water heat. He came in and he bled my pipe, and I talked to him, and I said, this thing has been making a lot of noise. You know, it was doing it in the spring, and I said, I'm just afraid it's going to blow. Oh no, that ain't going to blow. They're made to not blow. Okay. So that was a month ago, and 6 days ago I kind of started to hear the boiler making this noise again. Gradually got worse. It's now shaking my floor like crazy. It's so loud, it's going off several times an hour. I think it's disrupting my sleep. I'm not sleeping very well. I think I'm only getting anywhere from like 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, and then when I wake up I don't feel good. Well, probably because I'm only getting like 4 hours of sleep, and then I can't go back to sleep either. So I just get up, and I haven't been able to take a nap because it's just, that boiler is so loud that it's disrupting everything. It's going off all the time. Now when I call or send an email, I usually do an email because I don't like my manager. She's really talks really nasty to people. And it's part of my lease to alert them if something is wrong in the building. You know, either, you know, excessive water use, people leaving their windows open, you know, because the heat's included. And she gets kind of an attitude. So I try to do everything by email so that she's got to speak to me by email. I don't like it when she calls me. It's really screwed up. So he was just here the other day vacuuming. They haven't put any ice melt outside of our doors. They have no shovels. We do have a service that is supposed to shovel, but they're not very good. We had an old gentleman who lives below me, he fell, 78 years old. And the way he fell, and it was on a crack that's, the sidewalk is lifted outside by the door. And he fell, and his head hit the door, and he's paralyzed. Never gonna walk again. They were told about this problem a couple of years ago, that the sidewalk is raised and it should have been ground, so it's flat. They did nothing. So I am looking at, I really hate to move. I don't like to move. I've moved too much in my life. I like the town I live in. It's got everything I need. I like living out in the country here. But I just don't know what to do about this management. It's, I don't know. On another note, enough about my housing issues. So, had my blood sugar tested. It is going down, down, down. I am now on only 6 months. So I don't have to see him again for 6 months. So that's good. Going in the right direction. It's really hard when you have eaten a certain way your whole life to change all that. It's really hard. But I have found some recipes that I can do that I like. Pancakes. Coconut pancakes. I got the recipe from another YouTube channel, but I was going to do a video on it. They're good. I have ate all 3 of them. It makes 1 serving. It makes 3 really big pancakes, but they're not real thick. They're kind of thin. I add frozen blueberries. And I have real maple syrup, or I also have a low sugar, no fructose corn syrup. And I actually put a lot of it on, and then I checked my blood sugar, and it didn't spike it hardly at all. So my blood sugar's been running down in the 130s, 120s, and occasionally when I know I've screwed up, it's up to the 150s. But it's going in the right direction, so that's what matters. Just finger pressing these. I have so many unfinished projects, folks. It's just, I have been trying not to start anything new because I have so many things to finish. And I just keep finding them and shaking my head, wondering what was I thinking starting all these projects like this. My metal detecting, I really didn't get out as much as I wanted to this year, and still trying to figure out a way to take you guys along, for those of you that are interested in that. Some kind of hands-free system, because it's so hard for me to hold that camera after I find something. You know, it'll ping and then I gotta, you know, get out the camera and then I gotta show you the ping and then I do the pinpointer, and it's really, really kind of frustrating. And I don't like doing it. It'd be nice if I had somebody go with me, but nobody wants to go with me either, so. A lot of videos I see, they always have, you know, a friend there holding the camera. They're so lucky. But it's not. This material is just crap. Sorry. It's just crap. Ugh. Alright. So I'm going to finger press this as best I can here. Just use the edge of my fingernail. Oh, let's see. So, getting towards that holiday season. Oops, wrong one. Getting ahead of myself. Getting to that holiday season. I am not a fan of the holidays. I just don't like them. It's too commercialized. You got all these commercials showing happy families. Show me one family that's happy. I don't get together with my family anymore. I haven't for years. So I go to friends and watch their screwed up family, and then I come home by myself and think, boy, this is great. I don't know, does that make me a Scrooge? I think it's funny. I get to go watch the drama at someone else's house and come home to like peace and quiet. To me, that's heaven. I don't have to put up with anybody fighting. Everybody fights. All families fight. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know why either. I mean, my family doesn't really fight. Right now we're all kind of just went our own ways. Put it that way. So I really have to pin this when I get to this last part here. I just lock in my seams and put a pin there. Lock in this seam. So you got one seam going one way, one going the other way. Put a pin in. Sometimes I'll put a pin in the middle. This is really terrible. This white, the white background fabric is terrible. Does not want to sew. It doesn't want to behave. It's been washed. It's been pressed. Of course, it was a long time ago. Anybody getting sick of all the commercials already on Christmas? They're showing, oh, all the families showing up. They're all so happy. Ah, hey, hi. We all get a smile on our face. Yay. Gag me with a spoon. It ain't real life. That don't sell, does it? For once, I really would like them to show what's really going on in people's families. I was always considered the oddball of my family. So okay, last bit of this. Yeah, for once, why don't they show on TV the fighting? Remember how you treated me back in 1995? You were always mean to me as a kid. You were always beating up on me. You never invited me anywhere. Here we go. I'm going to finger press this open. One of my seams is a little off, but I don't care. It don't bother me. Nobody will notice. There we go. Isn't that cute? So I have to cut 3 more. Just thought I'd send you along here with me. Have a little chit chat. Thanks for watching.